Hey guys, and welcome to Last Night On here on the stream.tv. I am Meghan Lamontagne.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jack Hind here. As always, a pleasure, especially to be next to you,
Oh
Meghan.
my
It always
goodness.
is. How are you this morning?
I am fantastic, mainly because last night's what happened on TV was amazing, and I cannot wait to talk about it. So we're going to be talking about The Bachelor and who he chose, as well as two bachelorettes.
Dos
Bachelorettes.
Bachelorettes is plural. Two of them. Come on, Chris.
I know.
Also, we are going to touch upon eye candy and the huge reveal about who the flirtual killer is. It's such a tongue twister.
It's a tongue twister,
word, honestly.
And then the shocking ending to the Fosters last night. But first things first, the juice, the gossip, the Bachelor.
The Bachelor.
He ends up choosing Whitney, which I was surprised. Personally, he was in love with Becca.
No,
He was absolutely in love with
joking?
Becca.
Okay, I didn't realize
was
we had
all-
these opposing views.
Jessica Hickam and I were texting last night. She hosted yesterday morning, and we were talking about how it's all in the kiss. And when he kissed Becca, it was like
Isn't that a song?
magic. It's in his kiss.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, if you want to say you think he was in love with Becca, I think being a guy, I think the challenge of her not yet loving him was what was making him more attracted to her.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? Because I say that as a guy, when a girl doesn't want you, it gives you that. Not so much it doesn't want you, but when you're telling her you love her and she doesn't say anything back, or she's not at that stage of you yet, your automatic male instinct is to try and get her to that level with you.
Sure.
And I feel like that was what he was doing with Becca. But I thought every time he saw Whitney, he was smiling. Every time they got out of the cars, she ran up to him. Every time they did anything together, he always had a huge grin on his face. She made him happy to be where he was. Becca made him work to be where he was.
That's true. I do think Whitney was the better choice. I think she'll be the better wife. I think
Wife,
she'll
almost.
fit in more into the Iowa setting. But I thought that she was a little obsessed with him. She kept saying, "I love you," in her like weird Muppety
Yeah,
voice.
I'm not gonna lie, she
you,
was a little
Chris.
bit. Yeah, she was. You're so mean.
I am
You
so
are
mean
so
this morning. It's because it's the morning. I'm grumpy in the morning.
I don't know. I mean, I liked her. I liked her the whole way through. I thought she was. Yes, she was. She did get kind of annoying sometimes when she would go on about how much she loved him, and she's. But what I liked was that after the final rose, she actually acknowledged that. She was like, when Chris Harrison said to her, she was like, "So how do you feel about this man?" And she was like, "Well, I mean, I haven't said it enough on the show, but I love
That's
him." And I was
true.
like, "Okay,
That's
good.
true.
At least you know that you say it all
And
the
props to
damn
her,
time."
props to Whitney for not even watching the season. She's only watching her and Chris's dates. I mean, that's a woman right there.
That's
If it
kinda
were
cute.
me, I'd be like, I want to see every single kiss that you had.
I don't think she wants to know anything about that.
And
I don't
that's
think
smart.
she wants to see that. I
It's
agree
smart.
with her on that. That's fair
It's
enough.
definitely smart. But I also thought that his Chris and Becca's interaction on after the final rose was so mature. It was
Oh, yeah.
probably the easiest conversation between the girl that lost and the Bachelor that we've ever seen. She was just like, "Listen,
Calm, collected.
I wasn't there yet, but I respect you. I had a great time with you, and I'm really happy for your choice." I was like, "Get it, girl! Like that's really great. That is really great." But then,
I agree with you there. I did their conversation between them. I thought when we saw that kind of showed that he'd made the right choice there and then. We saw her. She looked wonderful. Don't get me wrong. She looked absolutely stunning. Becca did last
Yeah,
night. But
she
when
did.
you saw them sitting down, when you saw them chatting, it was really like, okay, he's made the right choice. They did look great together. They were going well, but time to move on. And I believe he made the right choice with Whitney.
and then I heard this morning, and we were confirming, Chris Soules is going to be the newest contestant on Dancing with the Stars.
The 12th and final contestant for the new ABC series that's starting, next Monday? Is that what it
I
starts next
believe
Monday?
so, and Jack and I are going to be covering it, so that will
Yes.
replace our gossip talk of The Bachelor.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. But I was telling Jack this morning when we found out, I was like, isn't he a farmer?
Farmers
And
don't
Doesn't
dance.
he have to tend to his crops? Like,
He's got to go look after his pigs.
yeah, like stop this dancing nonsense and finding these women and go make some corn, Chris.
Exactly. So he spent how long on The Bachelor where he got to shoot fish in a barrel, and by fish I mean women, and by a barrel I mean a TV show, and now he's moving on to Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
Dude, go back to Iowa.
I know.
Clearly he doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't want to be
Exactly.
there. But he had to pick a woman that wanted to be there, but he doesn't even want to be there. Oh,
has no interest.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think he can dance, but this is going to be exciting. But then
Imagine it's like Twinkle Toes.
it's going to be really awkward.
It'd be hilarious,
I think it's
though.
going to be hilarious.
You never know.
Then Chris Harrison made the biggest announcement potentially
Wasn't
that
he
we've ever heard.
Tank teasing us all night.
He was teasing us all night, which he always does. But this time,
Just quick, what
Yes.
did you think it was? I want everyone to tweet us in and tell us what you thought Chris Harrison's big thing was going to be. Because mine was that I thought he was going to come out and say Whitney was pregnant.
oh, I
That
did
was
too.
what I was
did
like,
too.
no, is that what they're going to do already? I
Oh
was
my
like,
God,
yes.
that's so funny. We were on the same page. I totally thought Whitney was going to be pregnant.
Yeah, that was
but
my first thing.
we ended up finding out that there is not one bachelorette, but two,
Mm-hmm.
Britt and Caitlyn. So Jack and I are half excited because our vote was for Caitlyn. But Britt kind of comes out of nowhere. And let's spend a little while talking about this because this is the first time The Bachelor has ever done anything
Let's
remotely like this
initially
before.
talk about how when Chris Harrison introduced them both, it was like, let's have a cheer for Britt. And it was like, yeah.
Oh my God, no one clapped. It was so awkward.
It was like, let's have a cheer for Caitlyn. And the whole arena just erupted.
Yeah.
And how, like, 30 seconds before that, he was saying, oh, we were so split down the middle by Bachelor Nation. And we're like, but were you? But were you,
But were
Chris?
you? I don't think it was split through Bachelor Nation. I think
do
it was
I.
split between the producers.
Yes.
I think the producers want Britt and Bachelor Nation wants Caitlyn.
Yes.
But when they both came out and they were talking to Chris Harrison, I don't know if it's because we were hosts or maybe everyone else could see it too. Chris was struggling because it was so awkward.
They did not want to talk
They
to each
hate each other. Britt and Caitlyn. Britt is like, oh, everything's great and everything is awesome, and Caitlyn just like, get this bitch off the side of off the side of me right now.
I think Caitlyn's totally ready for it. I think Caitlyn kind of had an idea that she was going to be the Bachelorette, and I think Britt did as well. And then when they were like, hey, you're both going to be the Bachelorette, it was like, oh. And then what did she say? Caitlyn even said, she was like, it's not ideal. I was like, yes, Caitlyn, well played. Of course it's not ideal. I'm glad you pointed that out to us.
And then they were both on Jimmy Kimmel, and it's just, for me, Britt is beautiful, yes, but she's just immature. I really, honestly, just watching her movements and watching her little giddyish excitement, I don't know. She's immature. Caitlyn is ready for this, and the fact that I think Bachelor Nation should have chose who the Bachelorette was going to be. I think there should have been a Twitter thing, a Twitter contest,
Something to make it a final
because
decision.
the way I'm understanding it, if both of these women are going to start off on the show and then they're going to let 30 guys choose who the Bachelorette's going to be, like, we can't trust men at all. They're leaving it up to 30 men? Are you kidding me?
We're all going to sit there and be like, I don't know. I don't know.
They're both beautiful.
They're both fit.
Well, either way, it was amazing and we loved it, and I cannot wait for Bachelor in Paradise.
And Bachelorette starts May 17th. Is that the initial?
You know better than I do, I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
May 17th. Chris Harrison mentioned it last night, but we'll definitely find out the exact date and put it on the comments so we can all begin watching it together.
Yes, and the other show that Jack and I are obsessed with is Eye Candy. Oh my gosh, it's
Didn't
like
we get into this?
we got so
Literally,
into
we
it.
binged 5 episodes in 5
In a row.
days. Sorry, in like a day,
In a
didn't
day,
we? Yeah,
in
like
a
5
day. We were
hours.
just eating Ben and Jerry's,
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
and watching. So the big reveal happened last night. The flirtual killer is Jack. Wait,
Jack.
is that his name? Oh, I'm like, wait, Jack.
I didn't do nothing. No, it's Jake.
Oh, Jake, that's it. Sorry, it starts with a J. So Jake, one of the initial
3, weren't it? There was
she
that
went on
rich
3
guy
flirtual dates,
Yeah.
and 2 of them ended up dying, and Jake was the only one left. But then he was not a suspect anymore.
They covered it up
They
so
covered it up.
well. The writers hid us in every way. We never wanted to hate him. He came over.
Right.
The first initial time that we really saw him getting weirded out was when he went to her house to go and cook dinner, and we're like, hold on a minute. How did you find her address? How do you know where she lives?
Right.
Oh,
It
I
was
found
super
it on
sketchy.
the internet. But then he completely covered it up because he's a very charming dude. Don't get me wrong, he's a very handsome dude as well.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's a panty dropper, no problem. And I mean, to have that, it's just very difficult, I would suspect someone who can cover their tracks so well. He was genius.
Yeah,
Genius.
it was absolutely genius. So watch Eye Candy; it's amazing.
Yes.
And last but not least, The Fosters. I was watching The Fosters right before I turned to The Bachelor, and I had it on the background. I love The Fosters. There's a fly. Okay, this fly needs to go. But at the very last minute of the show, literally 7:59, 8:59, whatever time zone you're in, Jude and Connor are in a very sticky situation, and they're in a home where they shouldn't be, of someone that they're hanging out with, and the father didn't know that the children were going to be coming home, and he thinks someone's breaking in, and he comes downstairs and he shoots.
And we don't know.
And we don't know if someone got shot, who got shot.
Who got shot?
Who got shot?
We don't know.
I think based on previews for next week, Jude is okay, because you can see that he's okay in the previews. But I think it's going to be Connor, and I think that this is where his love and confession about the kiss is going to come out, because he gets shot and potentially maybe dies.
Ooh,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
good way of looking at things.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I mean, could you imagine if the dad actually shot his own daughter? Because it was Taylor.
That
Taylor
could
was
happen,
the girl whose
yes.
house it was, so he came down accident. Like I said,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I only got to catch the end of it because I was on my way home from work and Meghan
Yeah.
had to film me in. But
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who got shot. It's always one of the funnest parts. Honestly, these cliffhangers that TV series are doing lately, they just lead you on.
It was an epic cliffhanger. All right. Well.
That was Monday night on TV.
That was Monday night on TV.
was
And make
Monday
sure you
night.
catch Jack and I on Thursday nights. We do the American Crime After Show Thursdays at 8:15 p.m. Pacific time. But thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday for Last Night On.
Have a good Tuesday, guys. Take care.